All right, in this video, we're going to take the hanger method and we're going to make it a little bit messier. So our only vocabulary term today is algebra, which of course is a very, very big idea. You're going to take an entire class on algebra one day. But if we wanted to really simplify it, we could say it's using variables to represent and solve math problems. Now, before we do two-step problems, some of you may have noticed that all of our examples so far have just been with adding and multiplying. But of course, there's two other major operations that we've just completely been ignoring, and that is subtracting and dividing. Now, they work the same way as adding and multiplying. It's just that the hanger method isn't quite as useful for them. So let's take a look at what I mean. So first off, let's look at two like the ones that we've already seen before. We have 2x equals 10 and x plus 2 equals 10. Go ahead and pause now and think through those two problems and then write down the solution when you come to it. You can do a little hanger method on the side if that helps you think about it. So for 2x equals 10, if you wanted to model it out, it might have looked like what I drew there. And hopefully we decide that if two of the same quantity equals 10, then what we need to do is we need to divide by 2, right? Divide so that we only have half of the x's, which would mean we'd only have half of the 10s, which would leave us with 5. So in algebra, we show that by doing divide by 2, and then we have x equals 5. Now on the other side, we had an x plus 2 equals 10. So there, we would subtract 2 from both sides. And when we do that on our algebra, we would end up with x equals 8. These ones work great, both with the hanger model and on paper. Now let's try some simple, similar examples, but doing division and subtraction. All right, so we have x divided by 2 equals 10 and x minus 2 equals 10. Take a minute, see if you can figure out what the answer should be on these. And if you'd like, try and think about how you might model it with a hanger. It's not as easy. For the first one, did you decide that when some number is divided by 2 and equals 10, that number must be 20? That's what I think. Now, how could we model that? Maybe we'd say that half of an x equals 10, and so then in order to have all of it, you'd need to say that a whole x equals 20? I don't know. I'm not convinced. I don't think a hanger methods is going to work very well for these, but hopefully we understand the idea of keeping it balanced enough to see that if half of an x is 10, then a whole x must be 20. For the other example, we want to think of a number where when you subtract 2, you get 10. Hopefully we can think of that as being x equals 12, because 12 minus 2 equals 10. A way that we could show our work for that, just like up above, where we took away 2 to keep it balanced, here we could add 2 to keep it balanced. And we end up with x equals 12, because that's gone, and we have 10 plus 2 gives us 12. Likewise, over here, we could have shown our work by saying that we were multiplying by 2 on both sides to keep it balanced. Okay, we'll revisit problems like that in a little bit. For now, let's look at a two-step equation. So let's say I have this hanger. I want you to pause and I want you to write an equation that this could model. Notice there's multiple things going on here, so your equation is going to be a little bit messier than it usually is. Did you decide that this should be 3x plus 1 equals 16? That's what I think, because we have 1, 2, 3 x's plus 1, and then on the other side of the equation, it equals 16. Now, how do we solve this? Well, remembering that we need to keep things balanced, our first step should probably be to get rid of that +1, because that's just making things complicated. But if we get rid of a 1 over here, it's not going to be balanced anymore. We have to get rid of 1 over here too. So algebraically, I could show that by subtracting 1 from both sides. So I get 3x equals 15. Now I have 3 of some equal number that gives me 15. Well, 15 divided by 3 must give me 5. So I usually write the divide by 3 on both sides so that I get x equals 5. And then we can test to see if our solution is true by putting that 5 back in place of the x, because if it's true that this is the solution, it should work. So then we can say 3 times 5 plus 1 equals 16. Is that true? Well, 3 times 5 is 15 plus 1 is 16. Yes, it's true. Let's try another one. Go ahead and write down what you think the equation is, and then let's solve. Do you think this is going to be 48 equals 2y plus 26? That's what I think, because we have 2 y's, and then plus a 26 equaling a 48. Now, let's solve this. So our first step should be to get rid of that 26 so that we only have those 2 y's to worry about. So I'm going to subtract 26, but whatever I do on one side, I have to do it on the other, so my hanger stays balanced. So I'm going to take 26 away over here. And on this side, that leaves me with 22 equals 2y. Well, what number, or I could think of it as what number times 2 gives me 22, or I could think about this as dividing both sides by 2. It's the same thing, just a different way to show it. And that gives me 11 equals, instead of 2 y's, I just have 1 y. Finally, I can check my work. Does 48 equal 2 times 11 plus 26? Yes, it does. Our solution is y equals 11. All right, this is your practice problem. Please write an equation. Write an equation and solve. Find the solution and check it if you can to make sure that it is correct. I'll be looking both for an equation and for an x equals a number at the end.